Good, whatever time of day you're watching this. Welcome back to James's Broken Tech. It's been a long time since I made a video, but I've changed from my little diesel heater to what I'm going to say is probably the next natural progression for a diesel heater system if you're trying to heat the inside of a building. So this is my off-grid cabin. It was all heated by the log burner, but now I put radiators in. So I got these second-hand radiators. These are obviously standard household central heating radiators with water inlet one side and water inlet the outlet on the other side, drying my boots. But I decided to get one of these smart thermostats and put it in. This one's had to be modified. Obviously it runs on mains, which this is not the way you're supposed to do this, but I've just borrowed it from this light switch for now. It works fine, don't worry about it, I'm the only one who lives here. But this is obviously a mains thermostat, and all the Chinese diesel heaters you get are 12 volt. So I've extracted the relay from this and brought its two little wires down to there. There's a little relay. And those two little wires go down to the on-off switch of the much bigger diesel heater. So let's go have a look at the diesel heater. So we're outside now. We have a nice sunny day today. It's lovely. The mobile home cabin thing has moved again. Here's the old diesel heater, which everyone will know this type. It's that type with the, well, you can't really see it, but it's one of those normal type Webasto clones, the Chinese diesel heaters. That's what I used to use, mounted differently. This is more of its portable setup. Now it's all mounted to a cart with the temperature control on the side. Don't really use that anymore. And this is its diesel tank because it's got a bit in there. Use that mainly for defrosting pipes now, for when the water freezes. Anyway, because this is how this heating system works now, we have to go outside and have a look. So I've got a bit of cardboard and go have a look. Just as I start recording, the sun's gone in. There's been a lot of changes here. So I've got my double row of solar panels set up there. Let's just keep this slightly enormous battery bank charged back here. There's a lot of batteries, don't know what amperage it is. But anyway, let's go walk around to where the heating's now all done from, and past the jet ski and motorbike. So we come around to here. Might all be a bit warm still, but if I can, let me move some stuff. So yes, obviously you run a diesel heater, you need a lot of diesel. That one's empty, that one's empty, that one's empty, but the rest are full, which is good because we're this far through the year so far, and yeah, haven't used too much. This one's got a bit in. That one's the one we're actually using with the draw pipe. Looks like it'd probably do changing. So yeah, inside this box is where our heater lives, and the pipes run out here. Well, both of them do. The other one's there. They run up to the PEX, which runs all the way down to that radiator over there. There's one just up there for the bathroom, and two more. Focus. Two more go over there to the bedroom. So we've got three radiators. They all run off this. So if we just move all the bits out of the way, let us see what we're using now. This is still a 12 volt heater. I put it in this box because it's a bit noisier than the older type heaters. So here it is. This is now what we're running. So this is a Chinese engine block heater. This would usually be bolted onto a truck. See, eventually it's cooked its label off the side, which had some useless information on it in Chinese. Actually, it's not useless. It's got all the fault code lights on it, but you have to use Google Translate to work it out. Either way, this boiler is the same as a normal diesel heater. It's got an inlet and an outlet there. Still runs a glow plug, which is over at the back there. That's the glow plug. And it boils, the heater fires inside, exhausts out this large tube into this silencer, and boils the water. This one has also got a 12 volt pump built onto it. Seems to be at a funny angle now. I think it's just the way it might have always been like that. But yeah, that's how we're currently doing it. So it's just pumping hot water to the radiators. It comes back from the radiators back into the pump here. That's the outlet at the top there. So, also a quick cough. So yeah, the only difference with this is now it's got a coolant, a radiator system. Is it's got to be teed off all the way up there, which is the coolant header tank, which is an old used one off a piece of machinery, which has a crack in it, but it's cracked in a place where it doesn't matter for what we're doing. And when you run this system, because it's all outdoors, if you had an indoor area to do this, you probably wouldn't need to, but I'm running antifreeze in it, so it's good down to -18. So yeah, and I've had to do a couple of modifications to this heater. So when I got it, originally it'd run fine, and then it'd have an issue where it would just stop the fan motor. So it's got the same blower type fan, part of me doesn't run the blower anymore, there's no need for it to blow. So what it was doing is it'd run for 5 minutes, say, and then it would just cut off. It would stop heating, it'd still be injecting fuel and running the water pump, but it would stop running. So I had to open up the insides of the control board and put a 10 amp fuse in place of where it had one of those PTC thermal, well, what are they called, polyfuses even. So the polyfuse would keep blowing or keep opening up and turning off the actual fan, which means the heating would stop and you get loads of smoke out the exhaust. These kits don't come with any exhaust system, so you have to source all this yourself. They don't come with an air filter, but where it's located doesn't really matter. It seems to not cause too many issues. All its power wires and control wires are just run out the side, mostly to this battery. And there's all sorts. And on the control side of it, you get a on-off switch effectively. That's what you saw upstairs on the next to the thermostat. So what you have to run is obviously power and ground to this, and the control harness runs back up, goes inside. You also need to run 12 volts to that, and that's how that works. So when you flick that switch on, it sends the signal back to here telling this to turn on. So the other issues you have with these is that is the temperature probe there. That's what tells it what temperature the water's at, and these run up to like, oh, I don't know, 85-90 degrees, which is starting to get really hot for an indoor radiator. I mean, you can hear it, sometimes hear it bubbling inside, so it's probably approaching boiling at that point. So what I eventually did was install this little temperature controller. So this interrupts that 12 volt signal to the switch inside. As soon as it reaches the set value of 75 degrees on the return fitting, so here's its sensor, which is just bodged in there, so it's literally just behind this clip here on the metal. So the return water temperature is measured. Once it hits 75, she turns off, and then as soon as it cools down again, which doesn't take it long because the pump does run as it shuts down, it'll get down to, well, I don't know what temperature it gets down to, but it switches off and it fire it back up when it needs to, effectively. So it works quite nicely that way. It's a bit more efficient with the fuel. So yeah, that's how that side of it's working now. But yeah, obviously up there, that's just a standard coolant header tank off a vehicle. So you see it's half full, that's plenty in there. One of those fittings at the side there, that's what's actually cracked. So that doesn't matter because the level's below that. As long as there's water in that tank, the system's always got more water to run on. So what we need to do is fire it up so you can hear it running. So we'll do that now. Hold on, I've got it in the tripod ready to go. I pop onto my phone because this is obviously smart controlled. I'm going to go to Chewer. So that's it. Cabin thermostat. It's currently at 16. The current temp 17, so we're going to bump it up to 18. Which we should see the symbol come up. It doesn't always come up on this app. So we'll put it to 19. Go on. Just to make sure it actually fires up. Right, I'll get that out of the way. So that should now engage this in a second. So we're going to wait. Well, I'll start. Here we go. So that's the water pump running. You can instantly see the temperature's gone down on the display. Yeah, there's a reason it's in a box, because it's quite noisy. So we're going to fire up the flare as well. So I'm just going to make a sound. That's just so I can keep the audio together. So we're starting to get the initial smoke out the exhaust as it starts up. Just about to see that. If I were to move that out of the way. The smoke's gone now. Let me go back to looking at the heater. So you can see how quickly the temperatures will start coming up. I'm trying to melt my tripod, but the actual heating hasn't started yet. So yeah, the water temperature's come down to 38. If we can get that round so you can see it better. That might be better. Right. So now, the fuel pump clicking in, there's a bit more smoke out the pipe. Filming with the camera at the moment. So the pipe's currently at about 27. Start seeing things like the exhaust warming up. Yeah, go for a cycle on this. Almost through the pipe, so starting to warm up a bit now when you're in there. And get some heat. Get the container to warm up. So the exhaust starting to heat up now quite rapidly. Yeah, it's warm up. So yeah, it does waste a lot of heat through the exhaust as usual. So yeah, hopefully. See that display down there. So 4.9. Start to heat up. What we'll do now, you've heard it running, I'll switch the camera off for a minute and we'll come back to it once it's up to temperature. See the fuel hose jerking there. It does use the same type of pump as the other heaters, but it's much larger. Might be able to just see it. Can you see it? Yeah, it's just there, look. Same type of pump. So yeah, it's working away. Rising temperature quite quickly. Remember that's what the temperature coming back from the radiators is. We'll come back to you in a minute. Right, so we're up at 58.2 on the return temperature now. This is something I'm bound to get asked. If you can hear me, that is. What is the current reading of the heater while it's running? So put on DC, gonna zero it. There we go. Clamp that round here. We're running at upside down view. Between 8.5 and 7 amps. So yeah. That's obviously reading negative because it's that's a ground wire, not a not a line. I only had that wire, so that is what it is. Yeah. Get up another 15 degrees and then we come back from shutdown. Right, so it's been about 10 minutes. Still running. We're just coming up to the shutdown temperature at 70. Just about to see it, 74.1. Just about to read that. So as soon as that clicks out to 75, which you will do in a sec, you'll hear it go into shutdown. Shutdown mode. Slow, go here. 80. So as is the norm of these heaters, as they shut down, they run the fan, and it's also now running the glow plug again just to make sure it's got everything out of the burn chamber. And yeah, there it is. That's how that works. It's my cheap diesel heating system. So I'm not exactly sure what the fuel consumption is, but it's quite a bit. Yeah, while we still got the noise going, I'll put the lid on. As you can tell, that makes it a lot quieter. Yeah, right, go have a look at the radiators. Should catch the end of the shutdown sequence in a sec as well, so just listen to it. And as it shuts down, it will leave the pump running for an extra 30 seconds. So keep circulating liquid once everything else has been switched off. Any second now. And that's it. Good. The last bit, there's the radiator. 67 degrees. And that one. We'll have a look at the one in the bathroom. There's the little one in the bathroom. This one's the closest to the heater. 68, so yeah, about 70 once it's just shut down. And it is nice and warm in here. Thermostat still at 17, but it'll get up there in a minute. And there you go. So yeah, as I said about the indoor controls, this is the switch you get with it, and when it's in that position it's heating, that back position it's off, and it has its wire that goes back with this white connector. And you have to supply this red wire with 12 volts, which would usually be in like your car dashboard, or your lorry dashboard I should say, and it preheat the engine block for easier starting. But this actually gets its power from the well, that goes to the relay, and the relay goes back to this brown wire which comes from that little temperature controller. So when the temperature controller provides power, it can provide power to the relay and back into the switch to tell the heat to turn on. Yeah, it works quite nicely. Put that back down somewhere where I want it, a 16. Perfect. That is the next type of diesel heater. It seems to, being 16 kilowatt, it certainly produces a lot more heat a lot faster than a one of the little old type fan air powered ones. So if you have got the room in wherever the area you're trying to heat, and you want it to be nice and quiet inside, not listening to a little diesel heater running, then yeah, it's probably the solution for you, because it puts the whole fire assembly outside and you don't have to have one of these little Chinese diesel heaters running in your house, which to me is a benefit. So yeah, thanks for watching, catch you next time.